So far, we've been running our pretty minor Python programs directly in the Python terminal. That's not the typical way to do things. Usually, you'll want to write a Python script. A script is a program in which the Python interpreter is going to go through line by line or small chunks of code at a time in order to execute the program that you've written. You need some sort of editor in order to create a script. You could do this in Notepad or a completely plain text editor like that, but usually somebody will use a development environment or some sort of development tool in order to write these scripts. In our class, we recommend using Genie because it's a very lightweight editor. It has just enough built-in functionality to make it very convenient, but it doesn't have so much overhead to make it daunting at first. Like a complete development environment that has a lot of package handling or something like that, that might get confusing. So all we have to do is make a new file, and we're going to save this. I am going to put this in my programs file, and we'll just sample. And then the file type is going to be a .py. So that tells Genie that this is going to be a Python script. And then it knows to color code some of our keywords. So we can say hello world again, and we can save that. And then you see that there are these three buttons here. Now, since this is an interpreted language, the compile and build commands are not necessary, although the compile button also saves it. So sometimes I go ahead and hit compile and execute regardless of the language I'm using, so in case I forgot to save it. But if we click execute, it's going to open a terminal window with the results of the program. And there we go. So this is very convenient if you want to have a script that you're working on, you want to save the results in some place, and you want to gradually adapt it. So you can say this. This isn't a great sun. Okay, I don't know what that means, but it is a sentence. And then the command terminal shows you the output. There you go. That's how you write a script. In the coming days and the assignments that we have, you will be writing scripts and submitting those as the results of your assignment. And then we can run those and talk about the results. Your first assignment will be to create some ASCII art, and so you can do all that with a print command by there. Let's say that qualifies as art. By the way, sometimes you're going to want to comment code, particularly as you get a longer script. So you can say this is a comment, but if you just leave that when you execute the code, you're going to have an error because that's not a line of executable code. So you can comment this by using a pound or hash or whatever you want to call that. There are other ways to comment whole lines of text. So this is a long comment or a section of code that I don't want anymore. So the way you can do that is to turn this whole section into basically a string, right? But if you do that with just a single quote, it doesn't recognize that as a multiple line quotation. So we use the triple quote in order to tell you all of this is a string. What do you want to do with that string? Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm just commenting out all that stuff.